Now we go.
There we go. Now we're actually live. Hello. Welcome to the Reloading Podcast here on the Firearms Radio Network, presented by Patriot Patch Company and Camerado. See, that's what happens when I take a week off. I forget what I'm doing. That's my bull crap, and I'm sticking to it.
You're loud.
Well, I'm in charge, so I'm going to do what I want. That's right. I threw that card out there already. Anyway. So I was off playing department chair for 4-H last week, so that's where I was. I would say I was dead and resuscitated, but I don't look that good, so. So I've done nothing in shooting and reloading. Paul, what you do?
I spent money this week.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I bought a new upper.
Why did you spend money this week?
Because I'm hooked now on this SEAL challenge, and so I bought a 22 conversion for a 19, really a 2011, and yeah, I'm keeping the bill away from the wife this one. Considering it was with the extra mags and everything, it was over $700, and that's just the slide and the magazines, and then I got to spend another $4 for the red dot sight. So, yeah. Yeah, my better. If I was in Indiana, it'd be no problem. She wouldn't see it. But yeah. So yeah, I gotta be a good boy for a while.
Oh, we've all been there.
Yeah. Yes, we have. Just remember, Paul, even though you probably know this, sometimes it's easier to say I'm sorry than may I.
Well, that's been my whole life, but you know, I don't catch too much junk from her, so
yeah,
you know. But
Ray, what you been up to?
Just traveling for work yesterday and today, and getting ready to work around the house tomorrow, and then take off, head toward Nick's. We've got that big Missouri Valley. Make sure I get it right. Missouri Valley Antique Arms Association.
Nope. Missouri Valley Arms Collectors Association.
Okay, yeah. So we're putting on. Nick and I got a big display we're putting out. So
nice.
Yeah.
You gonna post pictures and stuff?
We can. So I've been busy building.
You gonna live stream some video to your YouTube channel?
Can't live stream, unfortunately.
Why?
They don't like video. It's that kind of a show. It's a pretty private show.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's private on Friday, and then it's open to the public Saturday and Sunday, but they still don't want video.
Makes sense then. So are you gonna get in trouble for posting pictures then?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we'll do pics.
I can probably get away with it, whatever I want, because I'm a board member.
Oh, okay.
Besides breaking federal law, of course.
Yeah.
But
if you advertise the show too, so I mean,
that's
interesting.
Yeah, so we've been building gun racks or gun displays, and we built a cartridge display box. And what we're doing is the major battle rifles from World War II. So we've got the Allies, the Axis, from the ones we're not doing sub guns, and we're not doing anything that would be kind of assault weapon like the Germans had. But other than that, we got what 16, 17 guns, 22 guns we're showing. Okay, so it'd be pretty nice. That's what we've been doing, getting ready for that. And
Not break the bank count this weekend, hopefully. Like I said, I probably won't be buying much because I'm saving it for something I have on hold, plus another auction coming up. So
Nice to be single.
Oh, I know. I love it.
uh-huh.
What's on hold?
I have this on hold, the gun that holds this on hold. So was in at the local shop last week, wasting a little bit of time after work before my club meeting. And they had this beautiful Riley Defense AK with the correct style teak stock, Bakelite grip. And the price was just too hard to beat. I'm like, can I hold this for a month or so? And they've known me for months now. So, yeah. So they just put it back for me. And so.
Yeah. Here he goes. Here he goes. He's going to use it to complete his Vietnam collection.
Not necessarily. It fits the model.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm not going to pay a real price of like a Chinese one. I just can't. I'm looking at a parts kit right now on a website. Just the parts kit for a Chinese one is $2,700.
Man, they've got that.
Wow.
That's just the parts kit. I'm like, that's insane.
Ridiculous.
So he's completing his Vietnam selection with an American-made AK.
It just fits in the spot as far as an AK. It's not a polymer stocked AK. I'm not gonna
This day,
put out
admit
on
it.
display.
You wanted another toy to shoot.
That's
Well,
right.
why not? Of course. And it's cheap enough to shoot still. It's not some
So
of my old ones.
don't give it the excuse, to complete your Vietnam collection. You just wanted a gun to shoot. That's all.
Why not? Yeah.
Now you
Especially
got
6.2.
now you got to reload for it.
Why? I can buy steel case cheap enough. I was looking. I can get a spam can of 1,000. I think for like $280 right now. So
You got to reload for it. You know that's just what it is.
I got to get the K&M gas system there, where it only throws the brass 2 feet instead of to the next county.
Do you notice that about military semi-automatic weapons?
Oh, it's insane! Like we were out shooting.
They fire 2 projectiles with every pull of the trigger.
We're out shooting Dad's HK G3, HK91. Well,
Set me.
Oh, you're sitting me. Yes, you're sitting me. And we're at the very far left side of the bench, and there's probably 15 firing positions, if not more, at that line. And there's somebody all the way down at the right side. I'm not joking you. The brass almost hit him. It's like, I'm sorry. Didn't mean that.
Yep.
Kicked it.
There's a reason that brass is not reloadable.
Oh, it's insane.
Well,
I want to try it just to see if it does anything. I know guys that are doing it.
I reloaded steel case 223.
No, fluted chamber out of like a Sitme or a G3.
You can load it. It's loadable. It just looks bad. That's all.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just talking the stuff that gets dented coming out of them.
Oh, yeah. Well, they have a little plastic piece you can put over it that'll stop that.
Yeah.
It's a buffer. So, M1 throws the brass a mile.
Yeah.
M14 throws brass a mile. Everything, throws brass a mile away.
Yeah.
BB-64 throws a big shell many, many miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they designed them. They didn't worry about picking up the brass.
No.
Of course not. No one was a reloader, sit down and try to hand load all that stuff. Oh.
Mm.
Raggle Fraggle, Alaska Russ, are you guys having a hard time hearing us? Or is it just Clifford? Because everybody sounds fine for me. So. Weird. Interesting. All right.
And Raggle, I got nothing against Narenko. Nothing. For an AK, I'm not spending the money on a Narenko AK.
Right.
Your SKS is in Renko, isn't it?
Yeah, I have a more than likely vet bring back SKS. So that's my Vietnam portion right there, Paul. And I will put money on it being a vet bring back.
There you go.
Because of the it's a non-import marked, and it's got the pitting on the receiver line that you see on a lot of vet bringbacks.
Nice.
Well, you got an M1 Grand in that listing too.
Yeah, I got one grand.
I mean, just for your Vietnam collection.
You could, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna
I
have.
did. I got a D.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I got a D model.
You got to put one in, because that was a big back in 60 and 62. That was the big import for to Vietnam. Going to the
Arvins.
South Vietnam. No, South Vietnam.
Yeah.
They got a whole lot of M1s.
Road trip.
Yep. So
We'll do a little searching in Vietnam, and then we'll bebop over to Korea, and then we'll hop, skip, and a jump over to Afghanistan.
Jeez.
And when we get to Afghanistan, we should be able to find transport to get back home. There should be something laying around we can drive.
Hey, then we can bring back that pallet of Beretta M9s that got left.
I'm pretty sure the Air Force is going to want those about now.
Yeah.
Anybody see that?
Yep.
no.
So Air Force is pulling the M18. So that makes what? That's the first military branch to do it, but that's the third federal agency to pull the 320 platform from service. Not to mention there's, how many law enforcement agencies that have pulled it. They better figure something out or they're going to be out of business.
I don't have one. Anybody have one?
Not a 320.
No.
We got to use one for $2.99 at the store if you want one.
I don't want one. I was just curious if anybody had one.
I don't understand it because the 365 doesn't have any problems.
It's all due to the holsters. That's the biggest thing. It's on the style of the holster that you see. I think that's the main reason. There's other stuff going on. If I were to ever buy one, it'd be the X series version with the upgraded trigger, and it would go in one of the Flux Raider chassis for a backpack gun. It's the only reason why I'd buy one.
What's the issue? Still going off on when they're dropping them, or
No, this is like going off on holstering.
oh,
And I think what's happening is where it locks in. A lot of times, like the flashlight, it's doing something to bump the trigger and disengaging. I don't know.
wow.
There's so much stuff going on with it, and this is just SIG in a way. They test their stuff on the civilian market a lot of times. I guarantee a new 2011 is going to have major issues when it comes out.
Mm-hmm. And it's ridiculously priced.
Yeah, I haven't even seen the price because SIG doesn't put prices on their websites.
I've talked to a couple of people that have been pre-told MSRP.
Let me guess, 3,200.
The one I heard was 2,300.
Jeez.
No, that's
I'll go buy a Staccato, thanks.
Yeah, that's Staccato price. Old STI price. I mean, it's not an Atlas, okay? You're not looking at $8,000.
No.
Average now for 2011 is what, $1,600 now? if you throw out the cheap ones, they're they're still up there. The TSOS or whatever they are, they're making a quote 2011.
I'm looking at one of the Macs maybe for the price point. They're hard to beat. That or EAA has their new Match X. I think it's what Chris has, and I've heard nothing but good things about it. Things flat shoot as can be.
Well, that's me. I've been running 2011s for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I like them. Not, none of them staple guns for me.
So, Dan, it's been a while.
It's been a minute.
So let's start off with, I see a lot of reloading stuff behind you there. Do you know how to use all that?
No.
Sweet.
Although
So
I
how
wish
did
I
you
had.
get into reloading? Let's start there.
Well, I started shooting at a local range here. I worked at a big company that built high-end RVs for your movie stars, your NASCAR guys, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But in 08, 09, there was a big economic downturn, and the last thing anybody needed was a $2 million RV. So
Right.
a lot of the production folks were laid off. Things slowed wickedly down. I stayed working the whole time, but I usually worked a fair amount of overtime to keep up with everything. So I had all this time, and I started shooting in the local range here. Pretty small range, great group of folks. But I quickly found out that I couldn't rely on being able to go down to the store and grab a couple boxes of 9mm or whatever I was going to shoot, and it would always be there at the store. That was one of the first lessons I learned. I'd been shooting for years and years, but I'd usually buy bulk packs at this gun show and this and that and whatever. But what I quickly learned is, they were, the 124s were on sale at this show, and I grabbed a bunch of those. And then the 115. So now I'm shooting, almost a mix of stuff. I'm like, well, this isn't going to work. So once I'm a stupid competitive individual, if I'm going to get into something, I'm going to kind of really boil it down and figure out, the best way to be competitive. So I decided to jump down that rabbit hole and learn how to reload. So I picked up, like I mentioned before, the first one was a Hornady lock and load AP, and completely disregarding all the advice that I got from every old timer that I had asked beforehand. They're like, "Yeah, start out with a single stage and blah 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 blah." And I'm like, I looked at it and I watched, a bunch of YouTubes on single stage. I'm like, that is just wickedly too slow for just, reloading pistol ammunition. That, maybe rifle, whatever, great, but that's way too slow. So I picked up a Hornady lock and load AP, and that was my first press. And I started. I was shooting 40 at the time. 40 was still a really popular caliber. It isn't, quite so much anymore, but.
Mm-hmm.
Geez, I think I had probably 4 or 5 different handguns chambered in 40, and that's what I would shoot. So that was the first one I started reloading was 40, and straight walled pistol caliber is amazingly easy place to start, as opposed to 223, a bottleneck, 308, whatever. And I enjoyed it. It was, before that I was always turning wrenches, drilling holes in steel, stuff like that, working on physical items. Well, now I'm crafting these little bullets, and that was satisfying. I could do it, at a bench in the wife's office. Actually, was the best place in that house to do it. It didn't take up a ton of room, and it was warm and comfortable, unlike the shop or the garage sometimes. And you could just skiff in there, set up, and rock and roll, and it was an amazingly enjoyable thing. It's kind of like, some people enjoy mowing the lawn because there's a physical difference between what you started with and what you end up with, right? There's there's a sense of gratification there once you're done. It's the same thing, except you can take it out and shoot it, which is even better.
Yes, indeed.
So, so in a nutshell, that's how and when I started reloading was way back then, and that segued because my wife worked at the same RV outfit, so she was head of interior design, and she was laid off, and I'm like, geez, we've got both our eggs in one basket here, so I kind of I need to figure something out to make sure that we can continue to make all our bills and stuff like that. And nobody's hiring, and I just had a ton of time on my hands, and so I started to reload more and more, and I made some parts for my press just to make it more hospitable to me for my comfort level and whatnot. And I documented how I did it on a private gun board out of Portland, Oregon, in case some of those guys there had the same press and they wanted those same benefits or equipment. And a couple of them reached out and they said, hey, that would be awesome. I would love to have that. I don't have the tools and things to make that. Can you make me one? Sure. So I made them one and shipped it up to Portland. And then I made a couple parts and I shipped it to Arizona and this and that and the other thing. And 15 years later, 10 full-time employees, give or take. We distribute through Midway, Brownells, Graff & Sons, all those guys. And it satisfies my creative itch that I get. I enjoy taking something from concept into reality, and folks tend to agree, it seems, and they enjoy the gear as much as I enjoy using it and making it. There, that's it, really. So Jennifer obviously no longer needed to work there. She works for Inline now. She oversees all the shipping area. I oversee all the production area. It works great.
Nice.
The whole husband and wife business owner dynamic can be a little tricky at the start.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's a fine line between, asking for something and that being insinuated that it must be done and blah, blah, blah. And you get some of that back and forth and that. But once we work through those types of things, it just works. It's great. There's nobody I'd rather to work with because it's somebody you deal with on a daily anyways.
Yeah, that is awesome. So what was kind of your first big product that kind of really hit it and took off?
I think the first that would be a toss-up between the ergonomic lever for the Hornady Lock and Load AP, which has kind of a strange geometry to the linkages. It has, it ends up just wickedly low if it's mounted on a regular bench top. The ball of the factory lever shaft ends up, mid-thigh kneecap area. It's like, geez, I don't want to just bend over every single time.
Right.
So, I made, and the ergo lever for that was probably one of the first things. And then shortly thereafter was the first dedicated Ultramark for the Hornady AP, and then segued into the single stage classic and the iron and RCS rock truckers and on down the line. So I think we just went through our books, all of our templates and things, and I think we're a touch over 938 different things that we can put on Quick Change and that we have put on Quick Change.
Wow.
And we stock I don't know, roughly like 150 of those, something like that. And the rest of the things are, some of your older Pacific presses and your odd, trimmers, your vintage this and your vintage that and stuff like that. We have all those templates from CH Tool and Die and like I said, the Pacific, and I mean presses that came up and went away within a couple of years. We
Yeah,
managed to get our hands on those templates and put that on quick change gear. So
that is nice.
yeah, it's super nice because the amount of folks that send me an email or we end up talking, on the phone and they're like, hey, I have all these presses that at one time in my life I enjoyed using, but I don't have the room for all of them. He says, this has changed it. Now I put a quick change plate on each one. I can use the same mount, or I can have two mounts set up, and I can use 8 different presses that I was not able to do, or I was able to do, but it was a pain in the rear.
Right.
A ton of bolt holes in your bench or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's the biggest piece of feedback is I can use those older presses that I wasn't able to before, and it's just so much easier. And ergonomics is extremely important. If you're going to enjoy your craft, you should certainly be comfortable. Not only temperature wise, but ergonomically wise in your body, be able to stand up straight and see exactly what's going on that shell plate. That's critically important for it to be enjoyable. It should be enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I am interested in that new single post that you have, because I don't have a big area here in here to reload in.
Yeah.
So that is
She's a beast.
yeah.
I think it's over 50 pounds before we wrap it.
Plus you can you can put the plates on the sides and hang the presses off the side of it.
Correct.
So
yeah, you can store 6 different presses on one post. Plus a workstation. So yeah, it's all about hopefully bringing the ability to get back in your reloading room and take back some of your bench space. And yeah, there it is. So, that's what it's all about. And again, just freeing up bench space, get back into it, enjoy it. The amount of folks that say, hey, this brought me back into reloading, or I am enjoying reloading again. The amount of folks that make that simple statement is crazy.
Well, I can see. I mean, just being able to use your presses and that, in a good setting, at a good height, and in a workable way, is tremendous.
Yeah,
I run one of your elevated ones on my 550. Not here, but in my house in Indiana, and the quick change plates are great, and I'm one of the ones that is going to also buy when I get back to Indiana to buy your new release on that one that uses the track system.
Yeah. The rail plate.
Yes.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, the embedded rails definitely serves a purpose, and it was important for us to be able to, there it is right there, be able to try to let people interface their mounts a little bit easier with their rails, regardless of where each person decided to center them on their bench, whether it's a 7-inch, center from the first rail to the second rail, or some oddball thing, or whatever it may be. The rail plate allows you to mount all 4 different mounts on one plate and nest it into your rails. So, and that thing's a hoss too.
Really, and
FedEx hates me. What can I say?
The first thing I bought from you was one of your roller handles. The handle itself, when you were just selling those.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. had and I still have a CNH Mark III, which tells you how old that is,
Yep.
and adapted the roller handle to that press.
Nice.
And, then my 550 has one. I have not put one on my on my Summit press, but the mech is getting one, and a few other things are getting their ergonomic handles to it.
The Mech Marksman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great press. You
So
don't-
Yeah, we
you
had
don't
Sean
hear-
on, we had Sean from Mecon when he was launching that, and Jason, who was able to be on at the time, literally went on and ordered one while we were talking to Sean. So
yeah,
it was
it's a good press. I'm kind of surprised you don't hear more about it. But I have one here, and I've used the heck out of it. I enjoy it. I'm surprised it hasn't gotten a little bit bigger following yet, but it's definitely a good choice.
I think it hasn't gotten a big following on it is because the people think of mech, they're thinking of shot shell presses. They're not looking at it as a metallic reloading press.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's definitely a possibility. Yeah.
And I know that Mike needs a new handle for his Pacific 366 that he's got.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I've got one of those sitting over there. I need to dust off and work on myself. I don't shoot a ton of scatter guns, but I enjoy it when I do get the chance. But shotgun shells, they're pretty cheap too. They go on sale pretty often, so that's why I think that 366 is gathering more dust than anything. But I think I bought like 20 cases of shells a while back, so I'm still kind of just burning through whatever I have. And if I do get the chance lately, I've been working on like 308, 45, and whatnot, just trying to fill off and top off my boxes. In the summers, I get pretty darn low.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the just now, it's all CNC cut metal, right?
Yeah, it's all laser cut. Mm-hmm.
All laser cut. Okay.
Yep.
Did you start with plasma first when you started this, or
Mm-hmm.
did you start with laser?
Laser, 100%.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's a cleaner cut. It's faster. It doesn't have as much deflection. There's a lot of benefits to laser.
But also the money wise was up there too to start with.
Yeah, definitely more expensive to start with, but you add up the labor to deburr everything and get rid of any slag and things like that, and just the clean cut of lasers is hard to compete with. So
you did, as a good businessman, you went and figured out that labor you only use once and machine cost goes on forever. Yeah.
Machine cost does go on forever. That's a truism right there. Especially when it comes to anything CNC.
Yeah.
But when we first started, having industry partners was important because I didn't have to go out and buy $8 million worth of equipment. So you kind of lean into it a little bit, see if folks even like your equipment or product, whatever it may be. And then just take off from there and try to build and scale intelligently, because again, this business was born out of an economic downturn, So you want to make sure that you're maximizing, every penny that's coming back in, because I put it all on the line to get it moving. So, um,
Which I understand. I mean, you're sitting there, as a businessman, you sit down and say, you know, you do a cost analysis of it, and the market share, and your market share is, close to 90%, I would think, compared to Dylan or Lyman or Lee, whatever. You
Yeah.
have the product that people want, and it's just not plates to hold presses or ergonomic handles. It's bin holders and die holders and everything else.
yeah,
And, that how do you come up with those ideas for this stuff?
I'm a diva. I like things how I like things. I'm OCD and attention deficit, and I am somewhat of a specialist when it comes to economy of motion. I like things to be streamlined and within reach and ergonomic, but yet aesthetically pleasing. And clean lines and clean powder, basically all the things that reloading kind of is, right. You got shiny brass in the proper amount, and dead nuts the proper amount of gunpowder, and these that all those things in within themselves are all hopefully pretty darn near perfect, right. Or else you might have a bad day. So what we do here caters to everything that you're doing in reloading anyways, whether you recognize it or not. But yeah, I like things the way that I like them, and I like comfort and ergonomics, and have things look nice.
Well, like
Perform
for
as well as they look.
your rock chucker, you have the case kicker.
Mhm.
Great little tool. I mean, just
Yeah,
does wonders. I mean, just put the case in, size it, it knocks it off. You don't have to play with it.
right.
You
And
know.
that's not something that I came up with. I mean, the RCBS had that way back in the
Okay.
day, but they discontinued it. I'm not sure when. And a couple people were like, "Hey, can we? I used to have one of these, and the spring broke. Can you make me a spring?" I think that's kind of how it started. And I looked
Okay.
into it, and I'm like, "Well, I can make the whole thing. I made the guy a spring. It wasn't a big deal." But I'm like, "Well, I can make the whole thing," because I had gotten more and more emails of, "Hey, they used to have this kit, and it did this," and of course, good old YouTube University. Take a look at some of those on there. I'm like, "Well, I can make that," and then I made one for myself, and we still make them to this day. So, and as a matter of fact, there's
Yeah.
one right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, since you're good at making things like that, think you could whip up a Peterson device?
Peterson's Vice.
Patterson.
Patterson.
Interesting.
Patterson.
There must be a joke in there somewhere.
No, it's not.
No.
So it goes back to World War I, and it was a adapter for the 1903 that took it from a bolt-action rifle to a semi-auto, firing a little 30 cal.
Huh. I never
So-
heard of it.
Yeah, it was never used. It was built for the spring offensive of 1919, and of course the war ended before that. So 99% of them were destroyed. And yeah, they were kind of the skunk gut weapon of World War I time period for the U.S.
Now I have
It
to go
would.
check it out.
It wouldn't be hard to make. I
Yeah.
have the 3D file, and I've kind of looked. The hardest part is getting the dual spring system inside each other. Get that into work, because there's a bigger spring and then there's a smaller spring that all right inside each other, and to get that work takes a. There's a guy that made one on YouTube, so
Yeah.
There's a guy that made a AK out of a shovel on YouTube too.
True. I'm shocked that video's not been pulled down yet.
That's a good one.
You know what they look like? They look like the Senior conversion kit for an AR.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Well, I always say, we can build anything. It's just the time it takes to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it would have worked. I think it would have been a flop in combat.
Well, I know Othias from CN Arsenal, they had issues it just running.
Yeah.
I think it would become, it's like uber ammo sensitive is what it would be an issue of.
Yeah.
And of course, in a wartime, your ammo is not going to be the most reliable thing in the world anyway. So
no.
I tell you what I do like about your equipment. I don't have a very big reloading bench. I think my bench is only 6 foot long. And I think most people that reload or into guns don't have the luxury of having a big room or a big bench. So most of those people, they're reloading, cleaning, repairing, everything they do to their firearms is done that one bench. And your product allows you to reload, quickly remove it, put a vise on, do their work, get it off, do their cleaning, and they're not banging their firearms into a press.
Correct.
It's really
Yeah. And now we have numerous plates for gun vices, barrel vices, and things like that. Just moving towards that natural progression of, you can reload the ammo for that gun, remove the press, and then clean that gun or work on that weapon. It just makes sense. You can have a completely clean workspace in just a few seconds to move on to the next task. It might not have anything to do with reloading or anything, but just to be able to use your bench for something else. There's a ton of people that don't have a ton of room, or maybe just one bench in the garage, and it just makes sense to be able to use that bench for a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have a plate that has a vertical like the AR mag. You know how you put they make the rubber blocks you put in your vise, and you can put like a mag when you put your AR receiver on that. That'd be neat.
We have numerous patterns for vices that you can put a mag block in. I have one in the drawer over there. I don't have like a quick change plate that has a mag block that's actually attached to it, but
okay,
geez, that wouldn't take anything to do. But I forget the brand. Right across from me in the drawers is one for an AK and one for an AR lower, and then also a more linear one for the AR upper, so you can disassemble the two and they can lock in independently. But all that stuff is child's play. Make that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You
mentioned the barrel vise. I do some rebarreling on M1 Grands 1903s. I never thought about mounting on my barrel vise to one of those mounts.
Yeah, we have templates for I think 12 different barrel vices. The Eagles, because all those things, and bow vices, you name it. The newer the arrow vice that came out, just tons.
I'll be darned.
Yeah,
that's one thing I love about CAD. I can do whatever I want on CAD.
It's true.
That's what I do for a living. I work on CAD every day, so
that's awesome. Yeah, that's where it starts. It starts on a napkin, then it moves to CAD. Yeah.
I can't tell how many times. I know my dad and I've done it because that's what I studied in college, and of course do that for a living on CAD work now. And I can't tell how many times I'll even use my work computer on a Saturday, just drawing something up. It's like, can I charge this the work time?
Absolutely. Yeah. And that, for me, that was another learning curve, coming out of, production, not really, drafting. So you teach yourself enough AutoCAD to get by, which I call DanCAD. I'd send it off to a friend of mine to make me a prototype or something. And he's like, what the hell are you trying to tell me here? It's like, it's only 2D. I'm like, well, I did the best I could, so sometimes I had to go back to a napkin to really illustrate. But That's another part of, transitioning into inline, of course, is all the moving parts that it takes to make a part from thought to actual form.
Looks like Raggle Fraggle's got a question. Is the plate system Dylan sells yours rebranded?
No,
No?
that's their own. That's their own unit. Yeah.
So typically, when you get an idea, it's not a different attachment for a plate, but typically for an idea, how long from the napkin to production are you looking?
Depending on how excited I am about it, because that's my fuel.
Let's say the post.
The post. I'm going to say that I went through a couple different revisions. So I would make one and then beat the hell out of it and change an angle, change a plate, change something that I didn't like. So the actual final one that we ship now is revision 3, but all of that was done within probably 3 months.
Wow.
And if I, because the way it is now, if I need to, I can move production around. I can say, hey, this is priority number 1. I want this, even though I ordered, a whole ton of stuff before that. I want this now, so I can move things around. But you always want to maintain a pretty fair amount of stock to service all your customers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's quick segue is one thing that's always been very important to me is there's nothing worse than going on a website, seeing what you want, and either going through the checkout, and the very last thing is, is going to ship in 1 to 2 weeks. I hate that with a passion.
You're like,
or they don't even tell you that until you get your order acknowledgement. Oh, it's going to ship in 2 weeks.
Optics Planet.
That's why I don't mess with Optics Planet.
That's bullshit. So, anyways, we stock everything. I can't tell you when the last time I was out of stock of anything. Literally, probably years. I've never had to go in on the website and say, "Oh, sorry, out of stock." Never. That's very important to me.
What kind of warehouse do you have to store all this?
It's expensive.
Yeah.
It's an expensive warehouse.
I mean,
I've made the joke very many times. I wish I would have got into business shipping something lighter, like shipping peanuts or styrofoam or something like that. But now I just have 1 million tons of steel laying around in all different, smashed up, cut up forms. So, pretty significant facility. I think there's 4 different rooms with shelves. I think the racking goes 16 feet in the air. So a lot of material. But that's what it takes to make sure that we have parts on the shelf when somebody comes and wants one. So it is what it is. I'm okay with that. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's that's hard. That's hard to imagine. Just the amount of steel you're bringing in every week and planning out all the cuts for the material that you're trying to.
Mm-hmm.
That to me, you have to come up with a cut schedule. I'm sure you know what's selling, what's hot, what's moving, and scheduling when you're going to do your cuts. And
correct. And just the sheer amount of stock that we have on hand is my buffer for when things don't go quite right. So if a tweak gets put out that we don't want any more Canadian steel and things slow down, or suddenly steel, you're being allotted sheets of steel versus the week before you could order as much as you want. Now you can only order 20 sheets or whatever, things like that. That's the world we live in now. But the sheer amount of stock and material that we keep ready to go is our buffer to allow us to navigate those supply chain things that right now kind of come and go. It is what it is. I'm fine with it. I believe it's a necessary thing that needs to happen and kind of ground everything out and get on to better days. But it does have turmoil for a manufacturer, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then again, when you source pretty much everything, here in the States versus, from across the pond, that supply chain is a little bit easier to manage.
Right.
So that's always been important to us as well, to employ, source, and manufacture as much as we possibly can, here in the States. The only thing that we grab from overseas are things that we can't get here, like microelectronics. Nobody makes LED parts here in the States. Nobody.
Right.
I mean, it's
It ain't worth it.
no. There's nobody that does that. So if you need a 110 to 12 volt DC adapter, you're certainly not going to find it in New York. So
Yeah.
that's just that's the only parts that we source from overseas by necessity. If they were here, sure, point me to it.
But
Yeah.
So
that-
tariffs didn't really mess you up much.
No.
That's good.
No. I mean, you get interruptions and a few price fluctuations, but like I said, if you're relying on your United States source stuff, you haven't been as affected as other folks that are out there. Yeah.
So why don't you tell us about a couple of the products you got behind us, like the inline rails and the panel setup?
So the panel, the parts that are green there, those are kind of newer. The inline rail, where all the presses are hanging up there, right here behind me is the rail. Those we've had for an awful long time, and that is it's an 1/8 thick formed steel rail with kind of a sawtooth pattern on the top, where you can nest and put all kinds of things. You can dock presses in there. You can dock bins on there, tool heads. This can go up there. Anything on the panel can go on the rail. But I wanted something that was, lower profile. I don't want, everybody has big wall panels. Everybody has big wall panels, all different shapes and sizes and things. I didn't want that. I wanted something, if you had a ledger like up here, or photos or cabinets or whatever, like a ton of us do, I wanted something that you could put, down low like this, and you could run across this whole band if you wanted to. So that's where the inline panel came from. And then it's kind of a bastardized key mod type of a setup there. But you can take, again, all of the bins and trays and assorted hooks and this and that, and you can move around where you want. And so on, behind this press, you could have one configuration that is all the stuff for this press. You name it, all the small parts, dies, you name it. But then over there, you could have, your panel continue, and you could have another sourced, localized place to store and organize all the equipment for that press, or at your gun cleaning, space, or whatever. It doesn't matter. You can kind of do whatever you want. But the rail, the inline rail, that's your heavy loads. That's where you can take your presses and things and hang it up there out of the way, like these guys up here. This one is a little bit of a hybrid because it's bolted to the wall and actually runs all the way down the wall for like 12 or 15 feet. But there's a Nexus up there. There's a 419. There's a Lee Classic turret and a RCBS Auto Prime, and all the way down the line. So the panel again complements the rail, so it's kind of a 1-2 punch, and it just works. And they've been super well received. And it's nice seeing them pop up in the wild now and seeing how people are using them, and how it brings enjoyment to what they're doing. And again, that's what it's all about.
All right. I'll bring up the webpage too, because that kind of shows some of the other little gadgets that you've added for that most people wouldn't think about being practical.
No.
So.
Yeah.
Your steel you use is it standard A36 steel?
Yeah, it's your standard plate, your P&O, if you will.
Okay.
It's sometimes folks ask me that, they're like, well, can I drill a hole in it? Yeah, you can. It's just low RPMs, a little bit of oil helps if you're going to change the pattern on an ultra mount, to adapt it to your rails or something like that. But it's not AR 500. Good luck forming that, right? I mean, you only need so much to achieve the rigidity that we need, and the angles and the bracing complement that. So the one thing you won't find out there is somebody complaining about, Chinesium bending or something like that.
Yeah, I've torqued on your mounts pretty good. I form 577 Martini. Well, this case here, out of a shotgun shell. So I've really had to, and I've never broken it. I've never even seen any flex in it. Nothing. It's sturdy as can be. Ain't going nowhere.
And it's funny. Sometimes people are like, well, I get this question because, and it's a logical question to ask, because when somebody is told that something is universal or quick change, for some reason that triggers weakness or slop, or something's got to give to make it modular and easy to remove and install. It just screams that. So, but when people say, well, is it weaker? Is it going to flex more? I'm like, no, you've literally added 2 more sheets of steel. So on a quick change, you have the quick change top plate itself, which is bolted to the press or the tool or whatever. And then below that, you have a sheet of 3/16 welded to another sheet of 1/4 inch, then attached to your 3/16 legs of your mount. So the easy answer is hell no. It got thicker. So as opposed to 1 sheet of 3/16 or 1/4, now you have 3 sheets. So you don't lose anything switching to quick change or utilizing the quick change.
Silence.
Oh, I can't hear anything.
Yeah, I think I lost audio.
Oh, you're there.
Oh, okay.
So, any newer ideas kind of that you can let out of the bag coming up?
Nothing really too crazy. We just put out the powder stand, which is kind of a cool thing. There's one sitting here to my left, but I don't want to move the camera because I'd have to actually pick it up. But it's you can mount your powder measure to it, and you can adjust there's a shelf where you can adjust your the height between the powder measure and your cases. And you can do that either dedicated or a quick change style. So that just came out, geez, like less than a month ago.
Oh wow.
And folks have been enjoying that. I would, like I said, I'd show it to you, but I'd have to actually pick up and elevate the camera here, and I think it would mess it up. As for new stuff, nothing really too crazy, I would say. We're kind of in a holding pattern right now, seeing how the economy kind of works out a little bit before launch anything too crazy, because we just did the post, the powder stand, a couple new brackets and parts and pieces. We're always adding quick change for whatever presses are coming out on the market. That we service that no matter what. But the big items, the things that take horsepower to make revisions and things like that, I have a list of things that I want to do, but we just selectively address them as we have time to do a good job on that as well. Is what it boils down to. I have a ton of things I want to do, but I want to do it well, not shoddily.
Yeah, I remember, what was it, 2024 when Shore Action Customs was releasing the Nexus press at SHOT Show. You pretty much already had one, plates ready to go right off the bat, which was nice to see. So
yeah, those guys over there are great. They sent me the pattern and supported me any questions that I had before they launched out, and then they stock our mounts and whatnot over there so that people can kind of one-stop shop and pick up the press and the mount over there. Those guys are great over there. All the manufacturers have been great. If I have a question or something like that, I haven't had any real kickback. I mean, we service all the industry. Like I was telling you, whether you use Lee, RCVS, Dillon, Redding, it doesn't matter. I personally enjoy all that stuff. I'm not aligned with one color. I enjoy them all. We made a couple parts recently for the Frankfurt Arsenal X10. We made a roller lever for that, a bullet tray for it, permit tube rack, and this and that. And that press has been kind of a kick to learn and mess with. I think there's a ton of neat ideas in it for sure. And there's one behind my camera setup here, set up in 45 ACP. I ran it numerous times now. I've yet to been able to break it, which is good. And it's been putting out great ammo. It kicks right along. I think we had to replace a couple bearings on it that were not at spec. My unit is kind of an early one, and they quickly said, "Hey, these were not made to spec." They sent me a kit. I swapped them out. Since then, it's been a great press. So that's another one of the more recent products that we put out. Of course, is the roller lever for that, and the bullet tray, and of course the mounts and things like that. But yeah, just a side note, that has been a good press for something that has that many stations, has that much, that many moving parts. It's been a good unit. I think they did a pretty good job. I see a question. Do you plan to expand to other hobbies, industries, or stick to reloading? For the most part, I kind of believe in doing one thing and doing it well. I don't have a need. I think if anything would push me to a different industry or hobby, it would be just, keeping up with reloading and having more excess above that. That would be the only reason to. But I don't really feel like branching out too much beyond that. I mean, when it comes to the quick change, we've got some, we're putting sanders and buffers and things on quick change plates and things like that. So maybe some more woodworking and other garage type stuff that can be used on quick change, grinders and wire wheels and stuff like that. Other than that, I don't really plan on venturing out of the reloading space. It demands a lot of attention, and there's always something new or something that needs to be um, uh, dealt with. You name it. So, no, I don't.
Did you make? I thought you used to. Did you make a plate for the little Harbor Freight chop saw?
Yeah, still do.
That's what I thought you. Okay, I haven't.
Yeah.
I was trying to look for it, but I didn't see it. So
Yeah, it's on there. The original little chop saw that it fit, Harbor Freight had discontinued, and then they brought it back with a different part number. So that part number's on there, and it's cross-branded by another little outfit. I forget what it is. If you want to send me an email, I can send you what it is. But it wasn't a Harbor Freight brand. It was some other little off-brand thing. But for the 300 blackout.
I use it for blackout. I use it to when I form this Martini Henry, Snyder, a lot of the old cartridges. I have to cut that brass down because it's especially this. You're not getting a case trimmer big enough for that.
No, that's a beast.
So yeah, that's a 24 gauge shotgun shell, brass shell that it's got sized down. So it's a big boy.
It's a stock plate. It's in our stock.
I might have to pick one of those up because it's a pain in the butt just having to hold the plate. Hold the bottom, hold the brass in the little jig, and then just saw it down.
Yeah. I would try to wrap off the number, and I used to be able to do that, but I can't anymore.
I'm making my shopping list longer.
Right.
I'm gonna have to order because I'm gonna get the back panel. I'm gonna get the rack. I'm gonna order the turret holders for my leaf oil turrets.
Yeah.
A couple more plates. It just the shopping list is getting longer.
You'll dig it.
Oh, I love all your stuff I gotten. Looking at this, if I had the spot for this, if I didn't have the powder dispenser setup I have now, I would consider your new powder dispenser setup.
Yeah, powder stand's pretty cool. I'm really happy with it.
All around interesting and productive equipment that and equipment enhancements that are being sold and carried by you. So
yeah, appreciate that.
I mean,
I'm not into making trinkets that are not worthy, not usable. That doesn't make any sense to me. I want a little workhorse. I want function with some form.
Yeah, and like I say, that post is going to be coming and going right over here, and because the other thing that it'll do is hold barrels in my barrel vise, so I can swap barrels out on a couple of units.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, that thing's 50 pounds before we even wrap it up for shipping. It's stout.
I got a nice concrete floor, and I got a good hammer drill, and get some epoxy, and
I was about to say, don't use tap cons. Oh, please don't use tap cons.
No.
I hate tap cons. That word those things need to go away.
No tap cons. No.
Good
Customer
thread.
sent me. He sent me a photo. He's got a jig for holding a Honda CB engine, and he's got the engine hanging off the production post while he's going through the top end of it. It's like, yeah, that's right.
There we go.
Get her done. Yep.
No, but I mean, use the epoxy cartridges that they have. You can just take it, tap it, breaks the cartridge, goes in there. Done.
Yeah, that'll hold like mad for sure.
I used to use the old-fashioned concrete anchors.
Nah. No,
Maui,
I know
Maui.
Paul's talking about the redhead ramset glass capsules.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I do have a 2-part epoxy gun too, so I mean, you know, I can do it either way. That's being in the construction business a long time. It was one of my things of having the right tool for the right job.
Absolutely. I remember in my younger years, I was helping this contractor out, and I was working with his son, and we got our hands on one of those little Ramset 22, you know, little short things, and we did what we were supposed to do for like 20 minutes, and then we found creative uses for it for the next 40 minutes, which included seeing how far we could get an old aluminum arrow to fly using one of those things. And, they don't fly very well when you take the fletchets off in order to get it down the barrel, but we tried. That was good times.
If I'm not mistaken, Dad, is his product the one that we reverse engineered, kind of made our own version for the bins?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. What's that?
Well,
Not, it's kind of the same. So your storage bin system that has on the, basically it's like geez, I can't talk today. Like angle iron that has it where they can kind of swing around. I think we built something similar to that for cut my presses downstairs and my mounts. So but
I had bought it was another guy I've seen on YouTube, Treetop Flyer. He had a system you mount behind a lead turret that you could put your powder dispenser on, and we did that. And then we kind of adapted how you do your bends, and we built a thing for Nick's bench. It's got the angle iron. He puts his little things in there.
If the bench wasn't covered with stuff for organizing right now, I'd be down there. But I'm trying to organize that bench right now. That's when I get off here. I'm going down and cleaning the rest of that up. So
it's funny you mentioned that Treetop Flyer, because he sent me all of his information because he doesn't do it anymore.
Right.
And he's like, here, you need to make these because, you know, people keep asking me for them. And I just don't want to make them anymore. He doesn't really have, you know, the facility and the equipment to do it in a reasonable amount of time. And he built them there for quite some time. And he got really good at it. But he's like, I just don't have, you know, the time to do it. And so he sent me everything. And so I think it's in my email string still, and I look at it occasionally, and that's one of those things. It's like, okay, if I'm going to jump into that, it's going to take me a while and to pick away at it and get it made. But he's a good dude.
Yeah, I bought one. Oh God, it's been 5 or 6 years ago, and I'll tell you what, for a lead turret, it works extremely well.
Yeah. The League Classic turret's a great piece of equipment.
You've worn one out, haven't you, Dad?
Oh yeah.
Well, the old cast iron one.
I did I had the original aluminum base one, and
that's right, you did.
The value.
Yeah, get the cast iron one.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go with lead, to start with, get the cast iron.
Yeah.
Then you'll advance from there, no doubt.
It's like anymore I seem to be reloading on my just rock chucker.
Yeah.
I'd rather I do one step at a time. Pull that die out, put that die in.
Yeah.
Well, you're mainly rifle. You don't do a lot of pistol.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you can do precision rifle in a 550. I mean, you know, it's doable. I do it. You know, but for developing loads, the single stage is the only way to go.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
If I could find a way to build this on a 550, that would be insane.
Well, you just have you know, a couple of tool holders. That's all.
Yeah. You
can do it.
What's the overall length of that thing?
Oh, geez. What is the case length on that?
I don't think it's the length of the issue. It's It's
It's
the
the
larger die. The die
larger
body.
die. It's a 1.25 inch size
Uh,
die I have to use.
So 1.25 inch. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's why the rock chucker is really the only press I can use for it right
Okay.
now.
That makes sense.
Well, Frankfurt's new press is that.
True. Frankfurt's I probably could use. Yeah. Case overall length is 3.12, but the base diameter is 0.668 for your shell holder.
Yeah.
It's a big boy.
Beast.
480 grain solid. Actually, here's one of the bullets. 480 grain solid lead cast.
Wow.
So
480.
over about
Jeez.
75 grains of black powder.
How's that feel to shoot?
It's actually not bad.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
More of a push than violence.
Exactly. That's everything black powder. It's got that nice gradual push. It
Yeah.
sounds like an artillery piece going off.
It is.
It pretty much is, yeah.
Have you ever thought about selling a whole system? I mean, or even designing your own press?
I think that is space is filled, really. I mean, there's enough outfits out there,
Yeah.
you know, from more inexpensive to high end. I think that's been filled. I don't know that I could do anything better, right? And you're going to spend a ton of money trying to figure that out if you can or not. But you know, you've got high-end progressives, high-end single stages, high-end turrets. I just don't see a need
Right.
to do that. And you still have some of the you know, smaller press manufacturers that are putting out some beefy presses, and you know, you got the Prozis, the 120s and 30s and 40 millimeters, all those. So I don't see a need for it. I really don't.
That's true. Know your market. That's true.
It would be fun. It would be cool, but I don't see a need for it. Yeah. I can throw money away in a bunch of different ways better than that. Including hitting the range more. So that would be nice.
Yeah. Having the money to in time to hit the range is the hardest part nowadays.
Yeah.
It can be, yes. For
Nick,
sure.
looking at his thing, he hangs his bins off of. That would
Mhm.
work in your vault. Put a couple strips of that up, make a bracket that would hold your pistols, like with the rod, and you'd slide your pistol right on it.
Gave me that idea. I saw that earlier.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah.
My shopping cart got way more expensive.
Yeah, and that just
Yeah. See, I was trying to show that off when I lost audio. Of all the little doodads that he's got. So let's see if
my
I can.
shopping cart got very expensive.
This little guy, this is just a little prototype. Like I said, it's not out yet, but I was going to make that. That's a Delrin machined pin, and make them a couple different sizes to fit, you know, a couple different calibers at a time. You can throw your slide up on the wall, you know, the whole pistol on the wall, or you can, you know, put it in your safe and whatnot. So, and these are modular. You can move them. You can put on the rail. You can put on the panels. You could screw them straight to the wall if you wanted to. It's just another little goofy thing that I was work on here and there.
yeah, 2 of them for $5. You can't beat that.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank goodness I don't have as many pistols as I have rifles. Thank goodness. Order 100.
Yes, he's got like a large parts tray. He's got a phone dock, which would be really nice and handy.
yeah.
And he's got the iPad adjustable dock, which is
Mhm.
also for tablets.
Yeah,
A paper
but-
towel roll holder.
We just went. We went to a concert over this last weekend. Took the toy hauler travel trailer, and I realized, you know, there's these little ports in the trailer everywhere to plug your phone in. but they're right on the wall. Literally nowhere to actually set your phone.
Mhm.
This is on a shelf or kind of hang it up over the cord. So I drug home 4 of my phone holders. I'm gonna put them in the hauler.
There you go.
Yeah. The business has evolved, put it that way, starting from just two main products being the press that I had for the Hornet AP. So I don't know how many SKUs we have anymore. I don't keep track, but we try to put out things that make sense and quality and value. And yeah, like I said, it appeases my creative side.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. There is something on your website for every reloader.
Yes, absolutely.
Not even reloader, really. Even just your guy that likes to work out in the garage. Like you said, you can get one of the mounts and plates.
Yeah.
You can have one spot for your vise, your grinder, your anything you can think of. And
yeah.
I still look at it for reloading, and I'm sitting there going, yeah, I want this, I want that, I need this, and in Indiana, I got lots of room, but to keep it all neatly arranged and everything else, because otherwise my room looks like a disaster hit it with all the tools and everything else.
Right? Yeah.
I mean,
I like things to have its place. I think it caters to the experience being more enjoyable to have things where they belong. Everything has its own space. Instead of pushing a pile of junk off and go, oh well, there's my screwdriver, there's my this. I like things just have their space. Yeah, there you go.
This is my room, so this is it's 14 by 25 feet, and it's loaded.
Yeah,
stuff.
That's
And
perfect.
It needs, it's got your mount over here on the 550 and everything else. But
That's
yeah,
a great space right there. Absolutely. Yeah.
You got your plate carrier hanging on the door, ready to run out the door, right?
always. That's part of the deal. You got to have a plate carrier.
Yep, got one in the closet.
Yeah.
I've got an old expired one that I need to dispose of.
Yeah. That one's not expired. That one is fairly new. It's only a couple years old. So, and they're good for 10 years now. So
yeah. It's fun to do expired testing.
Yeah.
For science.
if you look at it the right way, I mean, 10 years is only $50 a year. I mean, okay.
There we go.
There, it's a let's call it two medium pizzas, okay?
And truthfully, they'll probably last longer than that because you're not wearing it every day.
Yeah.
Like a patrol officer would.
Yep.
True.
But the expiration on the plates, I mean, 10 years. So,
yeah.
And if you keep them in a good location, they're not going to get affected by heat and everything else. So,
right.
But, yeah.
Yep.
The only thing I can't get to myself to wear is to buy is a helmet. Okay, that kind of draws the line.
I have one. It was so cheap. I was like, might as well. It's like $60. It's a bump, but hey, it works.
I was meaning a
Oh no, an actual ballistic. I can't fork
Yeah.
money out even for that.
yeah. It's tough to fork out $1,300-$1,400 for a
Ooh.
ballistic.
Is that what they go for now? Jeez.
I think the cheapest one I found recently for an actual ballistic was like $475.
Hardhead
cheapest.
veterans.
I think it was Hardhead Veterans, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I still won't pay that.
But you go with some of the other ones out there. $1,300-$1,400.
Good grief.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow.
And the worst part is, if it's serious, it's not going to do you any good anyway.
Yeah. They're only rated 2A. So
Yeah,
you know.
9 mil will still put a wall up on the inside of the helmet, and you're gonna feel that thing.
Right. Yeah. The reason why they're only rated 2A is because you get hit by a 5.56 or a 308. It ain't going to be the bullet making a difference. It's the trauma that you get from the impact.
Blunt force.
Yep.
Not like the movies.
No.
Yeah.
It's not what the helmet was designed for. It's designed to prevent shrapnel impacts.
Right.
Yep.
Raining debris.
Yep.
Yeah. But, the plate carrier is there. I mean, that's it. I don't think anybody should be without one.
Agreed. Yeah.
Especially with the price point they're at nowadays to get a plate carrier and plate set up.
The most expensive part of it really is the nylon nowadays for it. That when I bought that carrier was like $125, $135. Now they're $300, almost $300, and that's just the carrier. That doesn't include the pouches and everything else.
I'm just looking what the one I run is. The carrier I run is that's plates and all. Where's just the plate carrier? $150, and then that's with just your standard slim cummerbund, and then get the quick release one is about another $110.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't have the quick release. I have the two band one that elastics under. It's $50. So you're what, right? $200, and that's no attachments or anything. So you're muted, Dad.
What brand is yours?
That HRT tactical,
HRT, yeah.
which they make good stuff. So what'd you pay for yours? Like $25 at that swap meet?
Swap meet. I mean, I think it's a Condor, but it ain't like I'm wearing it every day.
Hey, for $25, as long as it holds the plates, that's all that matters.
It holds the plates.
Yeah.
Level 4 set from RMA is $319.98.
That's not bad, really, for a level 4 set.
This is just the plate carrier, and it's 263 now, but it's American, all Berry compliant.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's multi-hit rated, and it's rated up to 30-6 M2 AP.
What's the weight?
10-inch by 12-inch strike face, 8.3 pounds per plate.
Ain't bad.
That's heavy.
Yeah, the ones I run are 160 a plate, 5.5 pounds, and they're level 4.
Yeah, I have the same problem Ken has.
They've gone up. Holy cow! I think I bought my last set for $100 a plate. They've gone up. Of course, steel price. Or no, that's ceramic. So, I might pick them up on sale. Don't I have an extra set laying around your house? I see that smile.
Armay's
Those are
got
not
some ballistic helmets.
Those are not your plates, sir.
Or
You're muted.
I may have told them already.
I called Bull. They were there the last time I was there.
Possession's 9/10, bud.
he's right.
Bring 'em.
Armay's got some ballistic helmets for reasonable too.
I'll bring those back this weekend.
Okay. Because those are my second set. I got to get a lightweight or low vis carrier to put in the truck.
I'm finding fat guy compliant plates. I love it.
It's a real problem.
It is.
Yes, you got that right.
I think what they recommend is the double curve. I think they say.
Yeah.
Is what they recommend, or the shooter. Is it the shooter's curve? I think they call them.
Shooter.
I think you got the single curve, and then a shooter's. Or a multi. I can't remember. I haven't bought them in years. I think I've bought my last set right before I moved out here.
Well, I've got to run, guys. I'll catch up with y'all later. And Dan, nice talking to you, and have a good day.
Likewise, you take care. I better get out of here as well.
Yeah, we'll let you get going, Dan. We appreciate the time and
Anytime. was
yeah.
fun.
Next time you got some new stuff coming out, let us know and we'll have you back on.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for the invite. Fun hanging out.
Yeah, it was definitely it was fun having you and fun having you be able to show off some stuff and
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
so
Well, you guys
will-
take care and have a good evening.
you
You
too.
as well.
Talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Great guess, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I put in our Facebook group chat. So I did reach out to that Burst Fire,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he got back. So we're gonna have a talk probably next week. I'm gonna reach back out to him, and we'll discuss the time to have him on. And it's kind of crazy. He listens to the podcast, which is kind of cool. So
Nice.
I think we said it's either a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah. That's what I said. I said that's either a good thing or a bad thing. So that's pretty awesome. So Yeah.
You know, it's a good. I know Paul, my dad, and I were talking about it last week. It's a good looking annealer, especially for the price point. But
Well, the price point plus it's got the top where you can put all your prep station stuff in it, and
Absolutely.
then the new one has got.
I think that's the one that Ken has, isn't it?
Ken's got a burst fire, but we were looking at the new one that they're bringing out that is induction heated. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's in the 650 range, but
that's not bad.
with
No.
the six position prep center on top still,
right.
Yeah,
And,
that's why I said that's not bad.
you
Yeah.
know,
which
and
is just crazy.
if you take, what's a 6-station prep center?
Oh gosh, you're
$200 almost.
Yeah,
at,
easy.
at least.
Yeah.
Two at least.
So take two off of that. That's putting you down in the $450 range.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that is just dynamite. you know, I I think, you know, as soon as they can get them in stock, I'm going to order one.
There you go.
So, yeah, and there's no propane, no, just get it set up and it goes. And it has a case feeder with it.
But Bobby, propane is the future.
Yeah,
Oh, I still love that show.
but you think about it, like I say, you know, it's got a case feeder built into it. If I got to put a case feeder on an amp press, you know, an amp
Right.
annealer.
Yeah, what's the point? You already spent what, $2,000 on the annealer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's $1,500 for the annealer, and then I got to spend another grand to put the mechanism, and then go to Dillon and buy a $400 case feeder on it.
Right? What's the frickin' point of that?
Yeah, you know,
No, thank
boy,
you.
yeah.
Key Reiki.
You know, and Nick and I were sitting there looking at the, you know, the little adapter plate that you put on there to catch all your brass shavings and everything else.
What, $25?
Yeah,
It's like,
$26. I mean, you know,
you're
what the
silly
heck?
not to.
Yeah,
That's like I'm going to tell people, if you load like one or two cartridges, go that route 1,000%.
right.
But like somebody like me that loads so many different cartridges, I like my EP integrations for that, because the adjustability is so much, I think, easier in the long run, especially if I'm going to be loading or doing annealing in different stages, going from like Martini down to 223 down to back up to 30-06, all in the same time frame. It's easier to adjust that in a quicker time frame than having to change out those wheels. It just depends on the person.
Yeah.
But I if somebody's doing only a couple cartridges, I would recommend that burst fire, especially.
Well, you know, it seems, you know, if they could take the ugly annealers, interchangeable we feeder adapter, which are just little slots that you take out, and they got a curve cut in them. You know, wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
So, but at least
Billy didn't do too bad for not having one to actually test it with.
Mhm.
Sorry, Billy 3D printed me a case for my Garmin,
Oh,
but it's just a smidge off. So I'll have to talk to him and see how he did it, to see if I can sand it down a bit or not. Because depending on how he 3D printed it, sometimes how you print them, you can't file it at all because it'll all come apart. So, oh well. Anyway.
yeah.
But Billy, thanks for trying.
And you know, Nick, as far as that, if you put the larger wheel in and you're doing small cases, you want to just feed them one at a time, like you have to do with your EP innovations, you can do the same thing. Just put the big wheel in and just stick it in as it comes around, and let it work that way.
Yeah.
You know. But every annealer has its pluses and minuses, and
That's everything in tool wise. Yeah. That's everything.
I mean,
that's just life in general. Everything has its good plus and minuses. So
yeah,
yep.
That's kind of the nice thing about the EP integrations is,
The adjustability about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you're not, but when I'm sitting there and I got to do 200 6 millimeter GT cases, I want, I want something that's got an automatic case feed. And, then if I switch to 223, I definitely want, a case feed. So we all sit down and have to look at it. Is it easier to stick them in all at one time? Or is it easier just to, hand feed them in? Depends upon how much time you have to do it too. So, all right.
Well, here is patch of the month from Patriot Patch Company. There we go. Here's Ryan's original drawing, his rough sketch, or his napkin sketch, as you want to say. And it's do not tread. So you get your sticker and your patch. Very nice, very nice. So
yeah, looks like there's an AK on that one.
Yes,
there
is.
That's a Draco is what that is.
It's got a stock.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah, it's got a stock underneath the Claymore.
Oh, is it under folder? Or is it a side folder?
Can't tell.
Oh, okay. I don't know if it was stock was closed or anything. I've been watching more AK videos than surplus videos recently. I don't know
it looks
why.
like it's just a plain old wood one.
Yeah, it looked like a wood one.
Yeah, it's just plain old wood. So, anyway, if you want to support the podcast and become a Patch of the Month Club member, you can head over to our website. Whoops, wrong one. Which is firearmsradio.net/category/podcast/reloading-2. That was not easy to say. So we'll do it again. firearmsradio.net/category/podcast/reloading-2. And click on support the show. And that'll get you so you can support the podcast. While you're there, you can also click on buy our merch. That'll take you over to Southern Gals Crafts, which will be where you can get shirts like this awesome one here. This freaking tumbler, which is awesome. So.
Sorry, I didn't have my shirt on today. It's still in the laundry.
Well, usually I don't, so. Usually I don't because I'm busy doing stuff and I forget to change. So I actually remembered to change for once. It helped that I was sweaty from mowing lawn, so. Hey, Raggle Fraggle, I bet you. Oh, he already left. Never mind. But I was going to say, I bet you if you email him, he can make you a custom plate for your annealer. Anyway,
it can be made. CAD's easy.
Yeah,
he can lay it out. He's probably even got his main template laid out. You just give him your whole pattern. Probably takes no more than 5 minutes to do on the machine, and boom. Yep, CAD is your friend.
I had a copy of CAD I was playing around with a little bit once, but it was beyond my capabilities at the time, and I'm like, forget it.
I used my college free account for 6-7 years, because through college, Autodesk would let you just keep getting all the free versions. So I kept creating fake emails that log in and get the next year's version. I think I had like 6 or 7 emails, and then they finally got smart like a year and a half ago, and you had to upload your syllabus. I was like, crap.
That's funny.
But I can just use it through work.
There
I'll
you
use
go.
my work account whenever I need. We have access to all of them.
JT Schwing wants to know, what do y'all use CAD for?
I use it for my work, designing solar farms. That's the main purpose I use for. But I also do like, I have on my computer, my work computer, I have a Autodesk Rivet downloaded, and I'm gonna start laying out like my floor plan of my basement for when I start remodeling that. I have Autodesk Inventor, which is like the 3D modeling program.
That worked well for 3D printing.
Yeah. Like here's one of the parts one of my college final classes for Rivet, Inventor. We had to take and make 6 parts that would assemble to make a product. And I made one of the old school 90-degree angle Army flashlights.
Oh, nice.
So I disassembled it and this is the base cap. Made all the heads and everything, and I have no idea where the rest of the parts are, but no, it's pretty cool.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's fun to play around with.
Mm-hmm.
Like my rifle racks in the basement, I designed those on CAD. So
nice.
I used it for business.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
You design buildings or different
Walkways,
things. Yep.
Pathways, elevations, everything else put into it. You could, by the time you got everything out of it, you could feed it into a GPS to make all cuts and all that kind of stuff.
Well, it's like right now with work, I'm taking it where my field team out on site is sending me data that they've flown with the drone, and they're making it and they're sending it to me. I'm running it through our internal system, and then I'm sending it back out to them, and they're throwing it into their dozers, which are now driving and doing cut and fills. And so, yeah, no, it's a fun product to play with, especially if you like tinkering. So
you're working on getting them to start building solar farms over parking lots that already exist?
Bad thing about it, concrete won't work, or even asphalt. It's like I've thought it would be cool if you could find a way, if you could have solar panels over your parking spot that would charge an electric vehicle.
I don't even care about charging electric vehicle. I'm just talking like solar farms.
Yeah, you could do it. We have them on our building. Like we have our own little solar farm on top of our building at work, and that's what helps offset some of our power.
Because Alliant Energy's got little parking.
Yeah, I think you'll see it. Like we're running right now at work. We're kind of slow on our estimate side of work because we're interested to see where things go.
Right.
A lot of our clients are a little slow on wanting to do new jobs. So, but
yeah, because they don't know what's going to happen with the person in the White House.
Exactly, and it's
And
understandable, and especially if you look at where most of the modules come from, Southeast Asia. So
that was the nice thing about what we did was live roofs,
Yeah.
And those were all produced here. So
yep,
that was, you could do a really nice roof and pergolas and everything else up there.
I will say to JT Swing's most recent comment, my job is not farmland. There's no way you could plant anything on the land we're using at my job site. I was down there 2 weeks ago. That's so rocky. You're hitting rock at a foot. You ain't getting nothing planted on that. It's South Central Texas. Nothing.
Yeah.
That's like Missouri, Ozarks, okay?
You ain't planting
nothing.
Nope. I think there was one maybe acre and a half plot of plottable land on that whole site. And
now see the one solar farm they put just north of the airport here, but it's airport land and it's literally north of a runway. So it's not like you could allow anybody to be there anyway.
Yeah. And that's a lot of our clients
it's restricted space.
Yeah, there's certain
criteria I'm not mad
our
at
clients have to work with on that. Yeah. They just can't go out and buy 2,000 acres of good farmland. They could, but more than likely the farmer's not going to do it. And personally, I would rather see us put solar out there than a wind turbine.
the hard part about it is that farmland now is just so expensive. I mean,
That's the biggest issue. Yeah.
you know, the return on investment, with farmland is really tough when it's, $6,000 to $12,000 an acre.
Well,
Yeah.
you can thank Bill Gates and his ilk for that, because they started buying up massive amounts of farmland, and so all of a sudden it became very valuable.
Well, even in Illinois, farmland has always been valuable.
Well,
It was,
land in Illinois has been always,
Yeah.
but Wisconsin it hasn't been.
hmm
Wisconsin farmland was always cheap, but now you started having the large farms, the grain farms move in here.
hmm
So
So yeah, it's. uh, I looked at Missouri land when I first started buying it, and it was 300 an acre. You know,
yeah, but you were paying the Indians for that, so
yeah,
I had to slip an old joke in there somewhere.
That's like with companies we deal with as far as work. There's like 3 states we work in, and most of the area that we partner with the clients, you're not building houses like Nevada, out in the desert, Nevada. You're not building houses out there. A lot of it's BLM land that it's actually not technically. There's like BLM land cornering these spot. It's like checkerboard. It's weird. I was helping out
Yeah.
one job a while back, but yeah, you ain't building there. You're not farming down in central Texas where it's cactus
Desert.
everywhere, desert, barren.
Yeah.
Mesquite trees. That's about the only thing can grow in rocky climate down there. And the Virginia, mountain areas of Virginia, we're building, but that's really about it.
yeah. The types of land but it's still expensive land.
Well, absolutely, and we don't buy it. We're not.
I
We
know.
are a subcontractor to companies that do it. So,
Right.
Yeah.
and everything's leased. It's not purchased. So,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so wherever you go, land is expensive. It doesn't matter.
oh yeah,
You're not even nothing below the surface in Texas. I can tell you that.
oh, God,
You
it's so
know,
bad. I have some photos of rock from 2 weeks ago. Jeez, I could
Uh-huh.
fill my backyard with rock like 20 times.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just a small pile of rock we pulled out of the ground out there.
uh-huh.
So JT, yeah. Unfortunately, for situations like yours, that's on your elected officials,
Mm-hmm.
because they're the ones that allowed it.
Yeah, that's like Missouri. Missouri's trying to ban people from certain countries from owning land. That's a big one in Missouri, and I can't believe Missouri our land prices have like tripled in the last 10 years.
Quadrupled.
Yeah, if not, quadrupled. I remember looking at them years ago. We were going to buy some land for cheap, and then that was like on Thanksgiving, and not even 6 months later, it already doubled in price. It's like, holy cow!
Land
Yep.
everywhere is climbing. And
There were a big push in lower Ozarks of Texas people coming in and buying land in Missouri,
Mm-hmm.
and they were paying big dollars for it, and everybody thought they were going to make millions on it. And it's still up there in price, but there ain't anybody from Texas buying land there anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then they came in there with the bulldozers and everything else and started knocking trees down and everything. And yeah, they called it grazing land. Okay. Yeah, right. No, it's not.
So, yep. Well, if you're looking for camo stuff, swing over to camorado.com. CAMORADO. Use coupon code RELOAD to save a little bit on checkout. And a huge shout out to Dan for joining us tonight. Huge shout out to the gang for keeping it going last week while I was at the fair. So appreciate that. That's pretty awesome. So
I am working with Joel from RCBS to have him on again. So I know him and I were talking last week a little bit on some stuff. So I think he said October would be a good time because he said there's something new big coming out. So I'm not sure. That's about all he could say. So
set it up.
I know we don't want to hold that long, but I'm like, okay, if it's not till October, I think we can wait.
Yeah.
And especially if it's something big. So, yep.
So, yeah, now that I'm in here and fair's done, next up is some testing. So, I am not getting into PRS.
I thought about it for a while. I was seeing dollar signs go very quickly. I didn't get much into it, but if anything, really. But
I don't even shoot enough steel challenge for Ken. And you want me to go PRS? No.
The tripod alone, I couldn't fork out the price.
Well, yeah, I mean,
my bog does just as good, I think.
You got optics or
yeah, I know there's one really close to me. They had the PRS Nationals here last year. So
well, you just had the what was it, the bench or there was a match last weekend that was up near you.
I don't know. I was at the
what
fair.
Was it? It was just this last weekend. Oh, what was that? Probably not too far from Paul either.
Are you buying my stuff? If you clowns buy my rifle and all my equipment, I'll go do it. But I ain't got the money for that. I can come up with the ammo. You guys buy the rifle and all the other equipment.
It was the
optic.
NRA Small Bore Prone Championships.
Ooh, that'd be fun to watch.
Cardinal Shooting Center.
Cardinal Shooting Center.
I thought that was up by Chicago area, if I remember right, seeing on the map.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Oh.
Okay, no, that says Ohio. I swear I saw a.
It's got to be Ohio because the NRA is doing the
they can sponsor me. They wouldn't sponsor this podcast. I already tried. They're definitely not going to sponsor me as a shooter.
It's everything going on at Camp Perry right now.
Yeah,
Johnny Morris hates guns. So do his lawyers.
Yeah.
So they ain't going to sponsor me for shooting squat.
I thought I saw something last week about it.
And if they don't hate guns, they have a funny way of showing it.
I think we have the Kansas State rifle matches coming up here at my club soon. I might go check out.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll play hooky this week from work and go shooting.
We're shooting Saturday.
By the way, Paul, I can't join you for your next shoot because it's not long enough notice.
Oh.
So I'm working at Bass Pro.
Okay.
So Ken stopped in last night and talked to me.
Ah, okay. Yeah. We're gonna do it again, and
19th to the 20th of September. Okay.
Yeah, don't forget now. September will be happening too. Then.
Yeah. So Ken needs to figure out the date on that. Let me know.
The first, it's not. It's me the second weekend, I think, because. Oh, let's see. Calendar.
The first is a Monday.
Yeah. So September. So it would be the 13th. Or the 6th. Excuse me, the 6th.
That's a company I can't stand.
16th September.
Yeah, so
that range is if I have to be here because of the baby and everything else, I am definitely charging that range. That range is like it's only like $250 a year.
Nice. You got really quiet all of a sudden.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Must be the way you lean back or something.
Bass Pro will never do discounts.
No, they do a 5% on for military on firearms and ammo.
Well, he says they don't do
10%
it.
on everything else. He said, "I'm really surprised that they do a military discount on firearms."
Oh, do I? I'm shocked. I'm mad they don't take CNR FFL.
Oh, they do, but you have to come into the store.
They don't take my license.
They won't. You still have to fill out a 4473.
Yep.
What?
Yep. I've tried that for years. My mom had to hold me back once at a Bass Pro or Cabela's out in West Virginia a couple years back. We were coming back from Gettysburg a couple years back, and we stopped in West Virginia one night. They had a rifle I wanted for a heck of a good price. Guy wouldn't even send it to my local Bass Pro in Illinois.
What?
Yeah, that's what irritated me. I was like, seriously, you're the same company, intercompany transfer. He just didn't want to do it because I was from Illinois.
Oh, jeez.
That's why I asked Mike, I'm like, hey, can you guys reach out to this store and buy it? He's like, nah, it was one. I think you had just started or something at Bass Pro. I think it was something you weren't in the library yet.
Well, no, it was after they changed the policy because they used to allow us to ship them store to store.
Yeah,
and now
that's
you have
right.
to pay for it.
Yeah. Really? Oh, I didn't have to pay for the last one you did.
Yeah, you paid for it before I shipped it.
Oh, see, I don't remember. It was such a good price, it's hard to beat.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, you were busy thinking about other things because you were over in France at the time.
That's true. I was thinking, what international law did I just break?
Technically none, because
True. Technically none, but you got to think funny on that point. It's like you're in France buying a French rifle.
Exactly. I thought it was sweet. But yeah, unfortunately, I sometimes wonder if Johnny really has any clue what's going on in his company, and I seriously doubt it.
Yeah.
No, he has
I'm
no
shocked
clue.
they still haven't got rid. I think it was something when they sold Cabela's to Bass Pro, they had it in writing that they are maintaining the gun libraries. Would not shock me because if they wouldn't have had that, I guarantee it, every former Cabela's now Bass Pro would have gotten rid of the libraries.
Well, there was some Bass Pros that actually sold guns and had a couple. There was some Bass Pros that had.
Really? I've
Yeah.
never been to one.
Springfield Bass Pro.
Yeah.
It's got the NRA museum there.
That's true. They do have some use stuff
Yeah.
from time to time. Every year we're down there.
Yep.
Which I recommend if anybody ever is down in Springfield, Missouri, go to that museum.
Yeah, go to the museums that are attached to the Granddaddy.
It is an incredible museum. If you like firearms history, there's some incredible stuff in there.
I got to get out to Cody.
Yeah, I do too. I've never been to Cody. Come on over. We'll road trip it.
Sweet. Go out and beat up Chris.
Yeah. I was looking at this, like Central Wyoming. It's like 15 hours from my house. I don't know why I was looking at that today, but I was.
Yeah.
Well, if you do it in the summertime, because that way you can go shoot prairie dogs.
Yeah.
I get my kidneys looked at this week.
Well, I got to jump off, guys. I got to go my dad wants me to do something for him. So.
Yeah, we're going to sign off
All
here
right.
anyway.
Yep.
I was going to start it, but Ken just messaged me. So, all right. So, on that note, gang, keep your brass shiny.
Jump on the mill short bus.
Don't listen to what your mama said. Violence does solve problems.
Support the Second Amendment. Start with your local and state organizations. Get involved. get involved with national organizations. There's a lot of good ones out there. Gresham says the NRA is coming back. I don't know yet. I still haven't made up my mind. But if you are a life member of the NRA, or you are a current member of the NRA, it's your job to make sure you're keeping their foot to the fire. I ain't got there yet. Calm down, JT. So, but I appreciate the reminder. Make sure you're paying attention to what's going on at your local, your state levels, because that's where they're trying to pass a lot of the bull crap. Hopefully your state has a preemption law and you don't have to worry about local. But if they don't, work on getting your state to pass a preemption law so you don't have to worry about that stupid crap. But make sure you're paying attention to what's going on in your state legislature as far as gun control and gun laws go, and make sure you're paying attention to what's going on in Washington. Be nice when you're talking to them, but let them know you're paying attention. Start paying attention to who's running for midterms. So don't believe what they say. Find out what they've been voting in on, how they've been voting.
It's crazy. The guy that did my
Remember,
surgery
Bill
on my
Clinton
hand.
said he was pro-gun.
Yeah, that's true.
Huh?
The guy that did surgery on my hand.
Remember, Bill Clinton said he was pro-gun. Oh, nice.
So, which is kind of cool. He's previously was a governor, but he's rerunning. So,
yeah, there you go. So, but most importantly, if you're struggling, 988 or 1-800-273-8255. Reach out, get some help. Walk the Talk America is a good place to start. If you're not critical, if you just need to, check with your employers too, because most corporations and stuff now have EAP programs, and EAP programs usually have anywhere from 4 to 6 free counseling appointments. Check with them too. Getting help is not a sign of weakness, unlike what Paz Derek says. He just says that to be a prick, I think. But it's important to reach out and get that help. It's important to reach out so that you are here tomorrow. Because there are people here that want you here. And there's people that need you here. There's people that are counting on you, whether you realize it or not. And that you may not realize it at this point in time, but you hang around, you'll figure it out. So keep up the good fight. Reach out and get some help. Thanks, folks. Have a good night.
Good night, all.
Night, y'all.